back in podcast, and this is episode number 3, and we are with Anurag Tripathi. Just a brief of the few words. He's 8-time MVP here, and I welcome you, Anurag, in this particular podcast with me and few of my friends who are joining from the YouTube at point of time, and few of them is joining on the LinkedIn as well. So once again, Anurag, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Atul. And uh, just wanted to say it's a great initiative. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So Anurag, this is what the tradition we follow. I follow personally in my all the podcasts or either in my trainings as well. See, we are the human beings, and sometimes what we want to communicate, we are not able to communicate in a proper manner. So let's take few seconds, pray to the God to whom you worship. That let's give us the strength, give us the power, the message, the thoughts, the intention which I want to communicate to the community, the way they should observe that part. So let's take 10-20 second pause, pray to God, and then we'll start the session of the formally on that particular part. And I request everybody on the watching part specifically, please you also pray to God the way we want to communicate. You take that words in the same manner only. Okay, welcome back once again. So, Anurag, today we are on the Saturday, 14th of October. I know it's India versus Pakistan is going on. So, is it your favorite sport, or you follow, or you die-hard fan of cricket? Can I ask this question before we start this?
Uh, I wouldn't call myself a diehard fan, but of course, like every Indian, I live and breathe cricket. As a child, I was very crazy about it. But as I grew up, I started following a few more sports. I started playing a few other things.
Nice.
So I'm a little distracted. But of course, cricket is still at the top of there.
Right, right, right. Sorry, I missed out this specific day before I scheduling this part. But let's
Yeah,
start very.
yeah. I did not realize it until yesterday.
Okay, so let's start something on your introduction part. So I'm not the anyone who can introduce you here, because I when I visit your LinkedIn profile, I visit your community profile, I was so impressed. I know only one thing, that you are 8x MVP. You attended, I guess, two or three, or register for the two or three knowledge as well. You're on the 18th position on the leaderboard, which I just checked yesterday only. Maybe it's get changed now. So how or where you started? I want to know your specific backgrounds as well, because my background is a little different when I come to the computer science, I can say. So how it started, and then we'll take the further question on that particular part. Over to you.
Sure. Uh, so, as all of you know, my name is Anurag Tripathi, and I studied in India. I'm from UP, Allahabad, so that's where I did all my schooling, and then I moved to Indore, where I completed my graduation and PG. I did Masters of Computer Applications, uh, and after that, as you said, Atul, if you look at my LinkedIn, you see that I would have worked in multiple companies, but essentially, it's not true. I was with the same company for a very long time, but that company kept rebranding. It kept getting acquired. So from my university, I was placed into Patni Computers. When I
Oh,
joined, it became iGate Patni. While
yes.
I was working, it became iGate. Then it became Capgemini, and then I
Oh,
left. So I stayed with the same company, but if you look at my LinkedIn, it shows like I switched into two, three different companies. But I stayed there for a very long time, almost 9 years, and then I moved to Novartis, which was in Ireland, and I've been in Ireland since then. This is 2020. And this year, earlier this year itself, I switched to Citibank, where I've been working since then.
correct.
Uh, Now, Novartis and Citibank were a different experience because this is on the other side of the table where you are the client, right? You're looking
Correct.
at other vendors and you're driving initiatives. You have more accountability in a lot of ways. You're responsible for things. While I was with iGate or Capgemini, that was a service-based industry. So the benefit there was that you work on multiple different projects, multiple different engagements. You see a lot of other things, and you also get a lot of visibility on other projects and other people. You get access to a lot of different things happening in different areas.
Correct.
So it was a very good experience altogether. I totally have almost 13 years of experience, and while That most of it, I would say, is on ServiceNow. So I started working on ServiceNow a long time ago. I remember the first version I worked on was Berlin.
Oh,
So
great.
it looked, I still remember how it looked, very weird. All the forms looked same. So yeah, that's a little bit about my journey in terms of work X and other things. Other than that, as I said, I've moved around a lot, but now I'm stationed in Dublin, Ireland, and I have no immediate plans to move anytime soon. I'm quite comfortable here.
Good.
I'm married. I like, as you said, I like a few sports. I play a little bit of PlayStation as well. I love nature and hiking. I go out as much as I can. If the weather permits, I'm always out. And also, I like traveling a lot. I was traveling a lot with my wife and even before with my friends. But after COVID, it sort of uh, took a hit. So I have to sort of motivate myself to get back out there. So
Nice.
that's a little bit of me and how, like, who I am as a person.
Great. Good to know. So I have two, three questions I'll pick up from here. Number one, that you say that you done your PG and then you done your master's computer. Is the PG same in the BC or BSc or some different background?
So I did BCA, Bachelor
Okay.
of Computer Applications, and then
Then
MCA,
good.
Master of Computer
the
Applications.
the reason why I asked, because I'm a commerce pass out and then I done my MCA. And this is one of the
Okay.
motivating factor which I told to everybody that if I can do, then why not you can
Oh,
do?
I think you're the only one that I know now because
No.
I was under the impression that you need a computer background or a math background for that. Is that like okay? It's not true then.
Yes. So I'll share one more thing that in the last podcast, I invited Gaurav Shirsat. And
Yeah,
he's from different background. He's from the embedding system, and now
yeah.
he's in the in the computer science, and then he done this service now part. Okay, good. And the traveling part, when you say this traveling does not include to go and pick up the grocery, right? It's like
Oh
going.
no, no, no. This is all leisure. I mean, yeah, this is all fun and yeah, yeah. I miss that a lot actually.
Hmm.
Hopefully, I'll get started again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but just since you brought that up, I have traveled, I think, 13 countries so
Oh,
far.
nice.
Yeah, but of course, there are so many countries, and I have a lot of blank pages on my passport, so I intend to fill them soon.
Good, good. I'll pray to God that all the stamping should be done very quickly, and you definitely visit it. Okay, so now let's move to the next part or next question here. You said that you are in the service now for a long time now. I can say 13 experience. You started from Berlin when, so you did A B C D E F G H, everything you have done in the service now. Okay, why service now? Number one, and who is service now? Number two, because on the community you also notice, I also notice that a lot of people ask the question. I am I'm learning service now, but they forget that learning is the one part, that why I'm learning and how the service now can help me or the organization or the community to grow together. So what are your thoughts on that particular part?
All right, so first, let's take the first part of the question. So, how I got pulled into ServiceNow. So, right after uni, when I started working, I was working on a couple of applications that were on Java and PHP, and it was under the same project manager, the same client
Okay.
that led ServiceNow team as well. So I used to sit with the same team, and I remember very well. They are still all of them are my good friends. I used to look at their screen, and I used to say that how do you differentiate? Because to me, all the screens look same. This
Right.
is like people who have worked in those days. They would remember the UI was very different, and all the fonts looked very same then. So fine, we used to laugh and joke. And then when that project ended, I was looking at other opportunities in Java that I wanted to stay with the technology.
Mhm.
But my client manager was very keen. She was very impressed by me, and she was very keen to keep me in project.
Okay.
So she tried to pull me in, and I thought, let's see. I mean, I have so many friends, and they are quite happy about it. So
Mhm.
let's see. Let's give it a try. So that's how I started working in ServiceNow.
Okay.
This is back in 2012, I think.
I can see Berlin is like
Hmm.
that time, that area only,
Yeah.
that time is a for Berlin. Okay, good. So it means, can I say that if you're working for a project and your side by people are using service now, definitely you should take some interest, because something similar happened with me. I
Mhm.
joined Infosys as a change manager, and I was using ServiceNow. I thought, okay, I have to click this button, it's done. But one of my friends, the same way, one of my friends said, "Why don't you learn ServiceNow?" And that was the day when I started this learning part. Even though I'm not from the Berlin side, I started on somewhere Fuji or Geneva or Eureka. I remember that 14, 13, 14 somewhere time I started that one. Okay, good. So how the service now is in the future perspective? Because yesterday or day before yesterday, I saw on the community there was a question that why I should pick up service now. What is the future of service now? Because if I am a graduate, I'm passing just in this year. I have to be see for the next 30 years for my career, right?
Yep.
I know that you, me, and I'm the age where almost half part has been done, only half journey has been pending forever till the retirement, I can say. But for the new guys, for the new graduates, how you say that yes, service now has a good future. What we need to be learn on that part, because I want to be specific. It's in the double quotes that how to start learning the service now. That is more important to be asked here.
Well, how to start learning service now is simple. Like there is a lot of resource now, uh, abundance of people. There are mentorship programs. There is abundance of help. You ask on the community.
Mhm.
We get so many requests. People reach out on LinkedIn and stuff as well
Right,
to ask questions. So I think there is no uh, lack of help on how to start. Where to start is a problem because yes, you need a project. Like unless you know what to build, how would you build it, right?
right,
So I get that, but there are some use cases. If you look up online, you'll find certain use cases, what people did, what people achieved. Like this was one of the things what kept me interested in community. It was not just what I was doing. I was able to see what others are doing and
right.
what others are facing your problem in. So that is what kept me with like very interested in community.
Okay.
Also, one point that you mentioned that what is the future of ServiceNow? So this is again something like I was very hesitant when I started joining ServiceNow.
Mhm.
When I started working into ServiceNow was I felt that every tool has a life, right? It comes, it
Yes.
goes. At some point of time, there will be another tool that comes swinging, and yes, it will overtake everything, which is true, which can still happen. There is no certainty what would happen
True.
10 years down the line. So you have to make sure that you are uh, okay to adapt, right? There's nothing, even if you're working on Java, new versions are coming up. You have to
Right.
upgrade yourself, right? So as long as we are in IT, you can't think about getting comfortable with what you already know. You will always learn, you will always have to grow, otherwise you're done. Like that's the honest truth.
True. So I'll put the follow-up question on that part, because where to start is the important point. That how you learn service now. That okay, one part is that Atul, I was sitting with the friends who are working the service now, because earlier I know UI 15 was so bad. Means forms are like white and black and all the things will be there. So how you started your learning service now? I'm not saying that working service now, but how you started, because definitely by seeing the screen you will, or nobody can learn it. You have to be open some books, some content, then you have to start. So what your learning path on the service now?
Yes, so I think that's a. I've had a very different experience than most of the people you meet, and I'm very happy that I had to go through it.
Hmm.
It was not an easy journey
Correct.
because when I joined ServiceNow, I did not join it as a fresher. I joined as
Yes.
somebody who's experienced,
Right.
and I was right away thrown into the deep end of the pool. So I just started picking up work. I had to deliver, and I did not know. Like I did like half a training.
Okay.
There was not even full training because I started working, and the training session would be one today, and then the next session is the next week. But I still have to work. So
Right.
uh, I had this couple of friends who would sit. We would sit in a cubicle, so you have people sitting next to you, right? So I started poking them like,
Okay.
hey, I need a button. Like, what do I do? So
Okay.
somebody would say, okay, look up UI action. It's called UI action. Search
Hmm.
it. So then I would go, and that this is when we did not have ServiceNow docs. We had Wiki, ServiceNow
Right.
Wiki.
Service now wiki
So
was the right.
I would search, like I would just get this notification from them that okay, UI action. Now I have to search UI action, and then I would figure my way out. So
Okay.
this is how I started, and this is what I would suggest to all the young people who are looking to make a career, whether in service now or otherwise. You know, whatever your technology, whatever you work on, don't find comfort. Try to. put yourself in a situation which will push you to learn. If you, all you have to do is jump in the pool. Once
Yes.
you do, you will figure it out, you will come out of it, right? You will know where to find help, you will find help, you will shout, scream, struggle, everything, but you will come out of it. So that has been my journey throughout my career. I never had a mentor. I was barely 1 year experience when I started leading a team of 4 people. So and I was not happy then. I was working 15 hours a day. So I'm not saying it was an easy journey,
Right.
but it led me to where I am today.
Right. Sure. Do you have an experience in the last 13 years, specifically in the initial days of when you start learning service now that no, yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Let's move out and go back to Java, which I was doing properly and I was good in that part. Do you have that experience as well? Maybe some feelings,
So
some thought come in the mind at any point of time.
actually, no, because when I moved into ServiceNow, uh, that's when I started exploring what ServiceNow is. That's when I started exploring what opportunities ServiceNow world is offering,
Right.
and I started enjoying it. And as I said, I started working in Berlin. Then the next upgrade we did was
Again,
Calgary. Then
yes.
we had Dublin. I was, I saw there is so much work, and at that point there was not a lot of skill in the market.
Right.
So like everybody in my project, people were switching. They were getting good money out there. They were getting a lot of offers, lot of calls. So I was very happy. I did not. The people who are working on other technologies probably were almost same or maybe a little less in terms of opportunity. So I thought I'm in a good space, and I did have a couple of friends who were working on other technologies, and then they moved into service now. They were more experienced, like 5 6 years experience back then.
Right.
So I used to speak to them. I used to try and get as much information out of them as to why did they did that move,
Right.
and it was all the same. Like it was good opportunities that this is growing. There is a good market out there.
Good.
So
Good.
so
So
I
so
never had any doubt.
Yep. So it means you always be hungry for the learning part. That okay, I have to be learned this thing, I have to be learned this thing. And I remember that, and again, take your thoughts as well. In the 2012, 13, 14, somewhere, it was a myth that ServiceNow is just a ticketing tool. I'm sure that you also got these proverbs, I can say, or the very best line. Hey, ServiceNow, what is ServiceNow? It's nothing, it's a ticketing tool. What your
Yeah.
take on that part and what you are thinking now at point of time for the ServiceNow perspective? Is it
Yes.
ServiceNow still a ticketing tool or it's more than
So ServiceNow is definitely a ticketing tool, but it is a lot more than that. It is not just a ticketing tool. That can be one part of it, but that's
that?
not whole of it. And yes, it started small. Like this is something I've learned, I've seen in ServiceNow, uh, and now they are so much more aggressive in their
Yes.
approach. They just enter the industry in any way possible. But I've seen ServiceNow grow, and I like their approach always. They build something which is a very skeleton kind of structure,
Sure.
and then in the newer versions, they keep adding features. And now you have, like, I remember I worked on project management back then,
Okay.
which was very, very new,
Right.
and I was very happy with a lot of custom things I built around it to make it a very usable product for the client.
Hmm.
And later on, ServiceNow started adding all those things, and in a couple of more versions, everything was out of the box that I had built before. So
Nice.
ServiceNow adds feature, and those features grow with
Mhm.
time because they see the opportunities and they see the market value, what the market needs, and whatever
Right.
the market needs, they incorporate.
Okay.
So, and another aspect, another way to look at it would be that when you look at ServiceNow, they add so much things, they add so many new processes. Right now, it has just blown out of proportions. There are so many things. If somebody tells me that they know ServiceNow,
Okay. I guess it's something at my side or your side, not sure. Anurag, can you hear me? Or anybody from the audience side? Can you hear me, guys? Can you reply on the chat, please? If possible, if you can hear me. Okay, I guess some network issue. Okay, I guess we Anurag will be joining back soon. Let's see. Anurag, are you there or you're still okay? Just wait for a few minutes. He's be joining back. Let me do one thing over here. Maybe some issue at his side. Anurag, let me call back to Anurag quickly for a minute. Okay, welcome back. So I guess there's some technical glitch.
Sorry, it looks like some issues on the internet.
No problem, no problem. And my friend Harneet said very well. No podcasts without technical glitches. It's very true, and it's not happen here. It happen sometime we go with the live stream with the happy hours as well. It happens that time as well. Okay, so I'll bring back the question again, and one of my friend Victor is there who asked this question. How do you approach, and he's thanking to you first, how do you approach service now from a business analyst or the product owner standpoint? What your take on that part? I know that you're a technical person here, you're a pure technical guy, but definitely you play this role in your different areas or the projects as well. What your take on that part?
First of all, thank you, Victor. And it's a very good question. And the way I see it is that business analyst and product owner are two different roles. Okay. So they can go hand in hand, they can work together, but they're two different roles. Business analyst is where you are more inclined towards the process and the need of the customers, and you translate that into what we need to build in ServiceNow. Product owner comes from ServiceNow perspective. You can see what are the offerings of ServiceNow, what can be better fit for the client and their needs. You can see like there are newer versions, new capabilities getting added. So you need to have that visibility as to what is coming in the newer versions. You find what could be a good potential fit for your client and you present that. So you're looking at as a product owner, you're looking at ServiceNow as a product and its roadmap, what will happen, and what are the good offerings that will fit the client. As the business analyst, you look at the business and then you find opportunities within ServiceNow, what can be leveraged and what has to be built.
Yeah.
So these are like that's my take on it.
Mhm.
uh, and all this while, I think I've done that, not exactly a business analyst, product owner kind of role, but as a technical architect, yes, I've worked with uh, a, a business unit, let's say that. So I've worked with different business units, and it is a similar kind of role. So sort of trying to sail in two boats at a time.
Mhm.
But yes, when you work with a business unit, when you're tied together, all the requirements come to you. So you start understanding the business better and you
Right.
start finding better ways to serve them, even though they are your internal clients or external clients, either way.
Okay. Good. Thanks, Anurag, on this part, and hope Victor you got the answer here. Still, if you have any question, you can put on the chat window. Now let's come back to something more on the ServiceNow perspective. When I was discussing with you, I was checking your community profile. I saw that you are 8-time MVP, and eight is a very big number. Definitely, it's not you done in a day or two. It's a very long journey, very long journey. So first, what is MVP here, and how you become the MVP, and then I'll put the other question on the after that.
Sure. So yes, I mean I'm here because I'm an MVP. So that's uh, that's a very big honor, and I've been very blessed that I've been in that group of people, very high intellectual people, for 8 years now. So let's how what is MVP, right? So that's the most valued professional. That's an award that ServiceNow community gives, ServiceNow developer community gives, based on your contributions, and that contributions can be a lot of different things. Your contributions are the questions and answers you provide. The contributions are the blogs and articles you write, the dev meetups you organize, your YouTube channels, your podcast, for that matter. So all these things are your contributions, and when your contributions are of a certain quality and of a certain quantity, both, then every year a group of people are selected as MVP, and that's what I've been for the last 8 years. Uh,
Nice.
so now, how I got into MVP program. So as I said, when I started working on ServiceNow, the resources were very limited. Like ServiceNow community had, I think, barely 10,000 people. Today, it's
Mhm.
almost half a million. Maybe it's more now.
Yes.
So it was barely 10,000 people there. Uh, we had Wikipedia, like ServiceNow wiki pages. ServiceNow docs was not there. Now Learning, developer program, PDI, none of it was there.
Right.
I think ServiceNow Guru was the website that was like the mind blowing page, and that was the Bible. And it still is. Like all the
Yes.
articles that are present there, they're still valid and applicable and
Right.
right up there. So, so when I started, I would seek a lot of help. I asked people around me if they were basics. When I understood the basics and I was decent enough to start, I started looking more into it. I was working on lot of custom things. I was working a lot of newer features that ServiceNow brought in back then. So at that point of time, we had a lot of freshers in the team, a lot of people who were less experienced than me, and they would ask a lot of questions to me. So I would help them. I would see whatever I can do, because
Mhm.
I was trying to find any opportunity to learn from others. Like I think that has been one of my things. Learn from others' mistakes so that you don't do the same mistake yourself.
Right.
So I was doing that, and then yes, we would go to community often. You would see the questions, you find an answer sometimes, and a lot of times I used to see that okay, this is something I know, this is something I know, this is something I can answer, and like one of those days I just realized that I'm already helping a lot of people. Let me start helping on a bigger scale. Let me start answering questions.
Right.
So I was doing that, and I started enjoying it because, as I said, there was a lot of things that I did not know. So I had to go look, work myself out, and then answer.
Correct.
So I started learning, I started enjoying the platform more. And then that helped me in my career as well, because I was getting pulled into other different things, different projects, areas. People would seek help. I was getting my name out there. So that kept motivating me. And the primary thing that has kept me going on for 8 years, I think that's something I want to touch on. So
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people who have been MVP 1 2 years, and then you fall out, and that's okay. I'm not saying there is anything wrong with it, right? Life catches on, different things. You find different areas. Nothing. Move on to different tools, technologies. Could be a lot of different things. But what kept me was the same thing today that I started with 8 years, 9 years back. Was I just wanted to help. I just wanted, if I see a question I can answer, I answer, and that's all it is. So I don't think I've like been close to being the top ever. Like I've never been number one in the ServiceNow community. I think the topmost I was at some point of
Okay.
time was 5 or 6 or something like that. But I did not pay attention into that. When I started, actually there was no MVP program.
Okay.
So my motivation was never to be an MVP. My motivation was to help and answer questions, and
Mhm.
that is the same thing I'm doing today. So fortunately, that program evolved, and of course, everybody likes being recognized. Everybody likes the accolades it brings. So yeah, I'm very thankful for that. But you have to find your motivation. You have to find what drives you,
Right.
and that's when you find that, you'll continue doing it. Like when I get an MVP program, I raise an announcement on LinkedIn or something. A lot of my friends reach out that this year I'm gonna do it too, and I am, of course, man, of course, they
Yes.
are very good. They're very smart. They can be out here, but they're not driven by the same passion. So they
Hmm.
start posting, and then you sort of get busy with work. So
Right. Very, very, very interesting. Definitely, 1 2 years we can still say, okay, I did some hard work and we're done. But 8 years is definitely a big, big time that you are continuously doing that part. So, is any time is it be happen that this MVP part or this community part is impacting your family as well? Because to be a constant in this sequence, maybe okay, I see that maybe I'll become MVP next year or not, but I have to be the intention what I have. So is that thing come in your family stuff as well that no, your wife says no, Anurag, please stop it now for some time. I need you need should be in the family and you spend some time with the family. Is something happen with that time in that mode as well? I guess we again stuck on this part. True, Harnit, definitely. I okay, he's back again. I
I
guess
think
some
I'm back. Yeah,
maybe again some network problem.
yeah, looks like it.
Okay, so my question was that is this MVP support, MVP help, community is become a barrier in your family cycle as well, or like everybody supporting in the family? Okay, you spend your time, no problem.
No, absolutely. First thing, it has never been a barrier, right? So I make it a point that I do justice to my family, whether I'm
Mhm.
with my parents, whether I'm with my wife. I want to give them all the time they need, and I should be giving them. So no, it has never been a barrier to my family. I've always managed it well. I've been able to manage it very well so far. Um, Although my wife gets irritated because I have a lot of these ServiceNow MVP jackets, and I just wear them all the time. So that's all she sees me in. So she does get a little irritated by that. But otherwise, yes, family has been very supportive, and of course they encourage like the MVP trophies. I know
Mhm.
one trophy of mine is my mom took it away, so she has it. One of these
Nice,
jackets, my dad, he has it. So, so yeah, I mean, of course,
good.
family likes and they share the happiness with me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I guess now it's again some
I can hear you though.
good to know, Doc, that definitely because this is what my fundamentals says here that without family support, without parent support, you cannot move forward.
Yeah,
You need their support, you need their blessings, you need their cooperation and motivation always to move there. Okay, it's me this time. Okay, I'm back. Sorry guys, maybe some glitches at my
yeah.
side as well. Maybe a lot
Today
of
we are
people.
having a lot of glitches.
Right. Maybe people are watching the match on the internet and that's consuming a lot of bandwidth here.
Um, let's blame that.
Yes. Okay. So I'll put another question here that how was your experience when you got the first email that Anurag Tripathi is the community MVP? What was the feeling that when you read maybe in the night it was in your inbox, you get up in the morning, you check your mail. How was your expression? How was your feeling from inside? What
Yeah.
was that experience?
So the first couple of times were really, I think everybody was trying to learn and get there. So before MVP, I became a ServiceNow community leader. So
Okay.
like we have the Rise Up program today, there
Yes.
was a leader program. So I was a leader for the first 6 months, and then I became the MVP after that. So I remember Dan sent out an email, and I did not know who Dan is. I never looked at that email. I was not very proactive on checking my personal email because I I don't even remember if I had a smartphone back then or not. I don't remember very well. So I checked that email after almost a month, and
Oh,
by then Dan had sent two, three emails that is this the right email to get you? We're trying to get in touch. We don't know. So, but then I replied, and yeah, we got. So that was my community leader the first time. When the MVP came in, then yes, I mean, I think there had been one MVP or two MVP announcements before that. There had been a class of MVP. So when I was selected there, I was very joyed, and I thought like, yes, this is it's a good accolade to have on my shoulder.
nice. Good, 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 good. And then it become a habit for you for the 8 years now.
Yes, as I said, I've been very blessed that my contributions have been
Right.
recognized. So, yeah, but so many, like I see a lot of guys who have joined the community after me also have a lot to offer, and they have been like up there. So I've never tried to turn it into a race. I never tried to go after quantity, or
Mhm.
I try to maintain my conduct. i
Okay.
I don't try to push things around, but yeah, as I said earlier, that all I'm here for is help, and it's fine. Like, so far I've been happy to be MVP, and of course I'll try to be on that same thing. But even if I'm not, my contributions essentially will be the same.
Right. No, we definitely we wish you a very, very, very all the best. That upcoming years we see you 8, 18, 28, and 80 as well. Okay.
Thank you.
So Harneet, you are, I guess, one step ahead to me because this is what my next question I'm going to be asked. So have you attended the knowledge as well? Because in the world of service now, two things are very famous. One, to become MVP, and second, to attend the knowledge. Have you attended any knowledge?
I've attended one knowledge conference. That was in 2017
Okay.
in Orlando.
Okay.
So that was
So
the only year. And then I've attended a few, I'm forgetting the name, but there were
it's like a
uh,
meetups you are saying, or
in not meetups in London and a few other places. There was an
world
annual
forums,
event.
world
Now
forum.
it is called World Forum. It was called something else differently.
Okay.
So I was based in London for I think three and a half years.
Mhm.
So I used to attend those in London as well.
Okay. So how was your experience in knowledge 2017? Because I guess this that time you were the second time MVP, because 16 you started your MVP journey, right?
15 I started MVP journey, so probably three times.
Third one, right? So how was experience, or and what drive you to go in the knowledge, and what you did in the knowledge?
So the experience was fantabulous. Like, I met a lot of people that you we see and hear people on a daily basis. I know so many
Right.
names, and but to actually meet all of them, and when somebody recognizes you, that's a very good feeling. Well, for
Correct.
me it was, at least, when somebody approaches me and like, I remember I met Robert back then, and the
Mhm.
picture Robert had on community was without beard, and when I met him, he had beard. So he
Correct.
recognized me and he said, "Hey, you're Anurag, right?" I said, "Yeah, but sorry, I don't know you." And he said, "I'm Robert." "Oh, dude, I know you. I know you very well." So it was a very good experience. I met there were a
Nice.
few MVPs which are not in the MVP list now, but they are again like very impressive people. There was Goran. I met Chuck back then, and
Mhm.
trying to remember who else. Stephen Bell. I met Dan. I met. So I met a lot of people. So it was a very good experience in terms of networking. It was a good
Right.
learning experience as well, and it was like, for me, it was a very fun event. I
Oh,
enjoyed it, and of course, there was a lot to take back as well in terms of learning, in terms of
yes.
networks, in terms of connection. So it was a very lucrative offer, like a lucrative event for me. Unfortunately, every time I think about or plan about going, something keeps happening in my life, so I miss most of them. Uh,
Mhm.
so that's that. And what was the other part of your question?
So other part that what you did in the knowledge means other than
Yeah.
networking, what was another agenda you had in your first knowledge? Like you're going to be attend some sessions or going for the parties and after parties.
So I was representing my client. So we had a team of people who attended knowledge from the client side.
Mhm.
although I was a vendor, but I was with them. So we had uh, a lot of exclusive sessions for us that were addressing our personal problems and issues and roadmaps and those kind of things. So that was one of the agenda I went with.
Hmm.
uh, and then the other was to attend some sessions, the developer sessions that
Right.
Brad Tilton gives out. So I attended a few of those. So that was from the learning and networking side, and the other side was, uh, and yes, one more thing, so all the companies have their booth, right? So
Right.
there's something going on, something working on. So I used to be part of those as well. So we built solutions that were presented for knowledge conference. I've been doing
Hmm.
that till I was in Capgemini. So that was another thing. We used to be on the booth. Whenever somebody comes in, you showcase them what you're capable of and try to convert clients or at least get some interest going on. So
Right.
that was another agenda. And personally, I enjoyed a lot. Like Orlando, being Orlando, we went to Disney,
Oh,
went to
nice.
yeah, Universal Studios. So of course, it was a very like good
That's
event.
and definitely you bring a lot of goodies as well from the knowledge, like full bag of this box, this cup, diaries, and other things will be there. Good. I guess my friend Harnit put one question that have you presented in the knowledge as a speaker by any chance?
No. So by nature, I am. I'm a very good company. I think I'm a very good company to hang around when you know me well. But I'm a very reserved person. I don't have a lot of online presence.
Hmm.
I'm not very outspoken or outgoing. However, I'm trying to change a little bit of things. So yeah, when I went to Knowledge, I think I hosted one of the. It was a table talk session kind of thing. So
Round
basically,
table talks. Okay.
yeah, so I was part of that for a, but I did not host a session because this is also something which has come now. It's more of a
Right.
last 2 3 knowledge conference MVPs get that option, and I've not attended those. So that was
Mhm.
another reason that I could not go into that. However, I've participated in a few hackathons
Oh,
for the knowledge conference. I think one was when during the COVID when everything happened remotely.
okay.
So then, yeah.
Okay, nice to see. So, Hardeep, really sorry to on that part that Anurag is not having an experience on that part, but no problem. You have experience, definitely you can share experience with the community on that particular part. Okay, now coming to the next part here. What about or what are your thoughts on the dev meetups which happen in the regional areas? I can say now it's happening on 31st of October. It's happening in the London now, and I guess today's or tomorrow they have in the Noida as well. So, what are your thoughts on that part? Is it good to go? Waste of time, again, knowledge or learning or networking? What are your thoughts on that part? Anurag, not able to hear you. I guess. Oops, again, I guess glitches are there now. Hope to get back Anurag. So, Hanit, in the meantime that Anurag will join back, how was your experience in the in the knowledge as a presenter? Maybe few lines if you can put in the chat window, everybody can see that part. Let me see, something goes wrong with Anurag or what? No, it's stuck now, I guess. Oops. Let me add him again. Now he need to be joined back. Okay, let me. Okay, he's back now.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is mental today. Don't know what's going
No, no problem, no problem. We are in the IT industry, so these are the part and parcel for
on.
us.
Yeah.
Th-
Yeah.
this is the route for the IT. Incident is not there, then nobody's going to be work upon.
Yeah. We have to stay in job. Okay.
Okay. So my question was that have you any experience in the dev meetups as well? And do
Yeah.
you promote it that we should go or not?
So absolutely. See, there are so many events, and you should be attending it. It's all about your appetite. It's all about what you want to do and what interests you.
Right.
So actually, it doesn't matter whether I like it or not.
Mhm.
If you like it, you should attend it, right?
Right.
because everybody comes with a different perspective. Something that interests me might not interest you, and the other way as well. So these all are proven and solid and successful events. So absolutely you should attend it.
Mhm.
Attend one. If you see the value, go again. If you don't see the value, don't. But I feel these are good events to socialize, to know other people, to see what's going on. You at least, like, I've been reached out by a lot of times where people just trying to understand what is new in service now, what learning what area of service now can
Right.
help me with more opportunity. So these kind of things you will get very easily from dev meetups and these kind of events, because they always talk about the current things going on, the new innovations, new areas, what's coming, etc.
Okay. Good. Have you attended any dev meetup? Maybe in
Yeah.
Dublin, or how was your experience on that? And to whom
It
you
was
met?
good. So it
Mhm.
was good experience. You get to see some innovations, and it's like when you work for a consultancy company, it's
Mhm.
good because you see what's going on in different projects, and
Correct.
almost all the big companies have a service now COE, so you have a different connection, you have different things going on, so you're more aware of what's happening in the world. I
True.
get that knowledge from the community because I see what is happening in the world through community. But if you're not active on the community, if you're not active on LinkedIn, then dev meetups is a good place to see and get that same kind of buzz.
Okay. Okay. Now, as you again pick up the community part here, can you specific tell us that what are the new topics you learn from the community? You know what
Ah,
you know, that's fine, but definitely you say that you learn as well. You go in the background, you check, you come back to answer that part.
yeah.
So, what your take on that? What topics you learn from community?
I think yesterday I answered a post around branding of virtual agent. So somebody wanted to change some topics. I've worked on virtual agent,
Mhm.
but you don't remember on top of your mind where
Yes,
that change is. So I knew it is possible. I didn't know where. So I had to look up and then I had to answer. So now it's refreshed in my memory. I can go back and quickly do it. So you learn every day. It could be something very big. It could be something very small. And a lot of times it's just a process question. Like
right.
we are trying to do this. What do we do? So I've replied to some posts that okay, I see your requirement is quite nice. It's quite good. It's a valid requirement. ServiceNow has this product that might suit your requirement. It has another product which is a lighter version of it. There is a store app. Like there can be a lot of different things. So you find that and you answer that. And for these kind of questions, to be honest, there is no right or wrong. So it's just
Correct.
about how the person receives it.
Right. Right on that part. Good. Okay. I heard from few of your friends. I can say there's a one of your friends, Ketan Bhagwat.
Ketan is a very close friend, and
Yes. So
yeah, thank you, Ketan. I did not know you're watching this.
yeah, so I send a message to him that I put the actually WhatsApp status that I'm coming live with Anurag here. So he messaged me that just put my name in the your session and you will see the smile on Anurag face so that I can see here.
Mm.
And he said that don't worry, he's jam here. And he told me one thing very important which I was not aware, that this is your first time you're coming live with any of the channel. Is it true, or like?
It is true. It is true. As I said, I'm a like I don't host any events. I'm not hosting anything.
Mhm.
And you were kind enough to invite me, so I attended here. But yeah, this is my first live session online. Yeah.
Wow. So I can say that I'm sitting with already a legend who is coming first time live with me on my channel. Thank you so much. So how was the experience on this live part? Do you think that you should start this thing little early so that you can reach out to a lot of people, or you are planning? Let's okay. If someone approach me further, I'll definitely go again to the chat.
See, if someone approaches me, I will probably probably do it, because of course it's not polite to turn down somebody who's
Yes.
approaching you. If I see the value, I'll definitely do it. Uh, Coming from the hosting part, uh, I have to find my motivation. If I'm not motivated enough, I might do a couple of sessions and then just go away, which is not good for anything.
Right.
So I need to find my motivation, and unless I do, I'm not gonna start anything.
Okay.
But So let's see. Time will tell. Maybe you'll see another podcast from me or some YouTube
Definitely.
channel or something. Uh, but yeah, I would actually like the people who are on the audience. I mean, would you like me to do a podcast? Would you like me to do something? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll
Yes.
certainly think about it.
No, definitely, because the main point which attract me is that you are before. So how I approach you before I reaching out to you, I see your LinkedIn profile, I see your community profile, I see that are you have any social presence on the LinkedIn very much like people have nowadays or the or other platform. I did not find anything, but I noticed one thing that you are 8-time MVP. You are on the leaderboard on the 18th position now with the 900 right correct questions. Then why you are hiding yourself in somewhere? And this is what I
Yeah,
call this
I think
session.
it's not. I would not call it hiding away. It's just uh, everybody has a different personality. So I think I'm just a little low key kind of person. I'm very good in person. If you approach me, I'm not shy. I'm not. I think I'm confident enough and I conduct myself well. If you approach me in person, however, online is a different thing.
Right.
So yeah, but again, I admire people who do it.
Thank you.
Probably I'll find some motivation. I'll get some inspiration soon. So let's see. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. It may happen, but yeah, I need to find my like what would drive me. Once I
Right.
find that, then you'll see me my podcast in the leaderboards or something like that.
Definitely, definitely, yes. So we have just 9 minutes left, and I would take another last 2 or 3 questions on that particular part. Okay, and thanks from behalf of Victor. He's saying that thank you so much, Anurag, for accepting my invitation and coming to the podcast here.
Thank
Okay,
you, Victor. Appreciate it.
what are the last message you want to give on the to the community? I know that viewers are very less at point of time because I guess India is bowling very well on the match side and people are just inclined on that particular part. So what is last
Oh,
message here on the community?
so last message on the community. I think there's a lot I want to convey,
Sure.
but I'll try to segment it in different sets of audience. So all the people who are newer to IT industry, who are starting their career in the first initial few years, I think you have to get out of your comfort zone, put yourself in situations where you are forced to learn something new. If you stay with what you know, you're sort of not growing, you're just sticking there.
Right.
You and of course when you are new right to the university, you are more free, you can move around, you can jump around, move to different locations, different projects fairly quick. Do that. I myself lived in like 4 5 countries. I've lived in 7 8 different cities. So because I just went where the good opportunity was, because as your life progresses, as your responsibilities increase, you will be restricted more. So this is the time for you to set boundaries and just go for it. And the more you push yourself, the more you learn, the more you grow, and it will pay you in the longer run. So
Right.
that's my message for the younger folks. For the community, I think as there was a quote in one of the movies, right? So go for excellence. Don't go for success or points or right answers or things like
Right.
that. Go for good content, conduct yourself well, and once you have done that, success will follow. Success will come to you. So it's,
Right.
as I said, I've not been number rank one ever in my 8 years, but I've been in the community MVP program for all those eight
Yes.
years. So it's not about how many questions and answers you do. And there are a lot of people who know on the itself who are not in the MVP program. But when they write something, you take them seriously because you know how good their content is.
Perfect.
So you have to gain that kind of reputation rather than just adding a badge to your shoulder and then moving away. I'm not saying that that's wrong. That's good. As I said, awards and accolades are a good thing, but define yourself with the accolade. Define yourself with the good contact and respect you get from the community. And for the end users, I would say, please, when you get help, all these people are helping you, taking out their time from their busy lives, busy work. Nobody is getting paid anything,
Correct.
so appreciate them. It's good to be polite. It's good to say thank you. It's good to mark a helpful or a right answer when you get that.
True.
So that's my message to all different sects of people. And If you have any questions, if you want to reach out, if you want to have a conversation, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I think Atul has already given a link to my
Yes.
profile there. I'll be happy to help in any way possible.
Yeah, definitely, Anurag. So this is almost we are at the end of the session now. Just to be update that Pakistan playing on 50 on one. One wicket has been taken by India now and done is 50. So it's good. I'll not say it's a good,
Good.
start, but it's a start for everybody now. Match is still
Yeah.
going on. Okay, so it's time to be close the session, and I'll come back again on the tradition which I following is definitely so. In the last 55 minutes, we speak a lot. We try to be convey our message to all the community or the audience who are be here. Now I'll take 10-20 second pause here again, and it's not for me or for Anurag only; it's for everybody. The message which Anurag want to convey, the thoughts which he or me want to be convey, the question we want to be asked has been communicated to you in the same manner. So let's take 10-20 second pause, pray to God, thanks to God, and then we'll close this session on the family basis. Okay, Anurag. So we are at the end. If anybody has any last question, can put it in the chat window. Otherwise, I would like to say thanks to you, Anurag, on the special day where India Pakistan match is there, and thank you so much coming live with me. And it is a first live. I really wish you very best that you go bars and bars and bars. 8, 18, 28, 80 should be the target now for you. Maybe not one, not on the leader number one, but definitely I want to see you in the community every time in that particular part. And
Uh,
hope,
Thank you, Atul. I appreciate it. I appreciate inviting me. And I wish all the success to you as well for your podcast, for your community profile things. I hope you grow and learn. And yeah, thank you.
yep, sure.
Thank you for all the audience who are here today,
Yes,
for all the questions, all the good comments. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
sure. Okay, thanks, guys, everybody. See you again in the next podcast. I guess it's coming on 28th of October with Deepak Negi. He's the guy who put very interested questions to make the platform very very tricky sometimes. So let's see what he's bringing on the 20th of October with me on that. But I share the invite link or the sorry me event link with you very soon on the LinkedIn and the special on the WhatsApp as well. Till the time, take care and bye bye. Let's watch the cricket in Indian cricket match with Pakistan. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.